Oh, welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil. We are about to head up to the helicopter, the helipad, and try and find some way of signaling Brad so we can come down and we can all not die when this place goes boom. Now, how are we going to do that? Signal flare! Sweet! Just move out somewhere and drop this thing on the ground and we'll be good. Ah, yes, things are finally looking up. That door back there was the one that was welded shut that we couldn't get into from the outside. What the? Ah, shit. Aren't you dead yet? Okay, the strategy is a little bit different. He's a lot stronger than he was before. And he will run. Oh shit, look at this. Ah! Just keep your distance and put bullets into him. If he hits you, like you just did there, heal up. Do not screw around and do not waste time trying to conserve health, because this battle is not going to last long anyway.
Chris, use it! Destroy the monsters with it!
I only see one monster. Oh, shit. Okay, that's a rocket launcher down there. So we're gonna have to go in. This is the only way to kill the Tyrant. It's the only way. Bye-bye. Ew. Brad, get your ass down here and pull everyone out. Oh, that problem solved itself. We made it out! Now there were a few different possible endings for this game, and this was the best one. For Chris, you could have saved or not saved Jill. I think it's also possible that you could have escaped without even saving Rebecca. If you told her to stay behind, there's a possibility that she could end up dying. And no matter how you do it, Barry Burton is going to die. And Albert Wesker is either going to die or he's going to disappear, or something like that. So that's just how that was going to end up. Now there are sequels to this game, you probably are well aware of that. There was Resident Evil 2 that followed this, then 3, then Code Veronica. The numbered sequels are up to 5 right now, with a 6th one coming out in another year or so. Resident Evil 0 taking place as sort of a prequel following around Rebecca Chambers as the main character. Now I'm thinking about it, go and do Resident Evil 2. The only reason why I did Resident Evil 1 is because it was a side project that I could knock out really quick. In fact, I've actually played the entire game in one sitting and recorded the commentary at the same time. That's something I've never even thought of doing with other games. But that's just something... It was easy to do, and that's why I did it. Resident Evil 2 won't be quite as easy because it changes the dynamic around quite a bit. The game itself is easier than Resident Evil 1 is, but it involves both characters, and if you're going to get the most out of the game, you have to play through the game 4 times. With the guy, the girl, then the guy, then the girl. weird order that they have. So I may not end up doing that. Now, this is a game that I've always liked. It was one of the first games for the PlayStation. One of the games for the PlayStation that convinced me that this is the system that I wanted to buy back in 96 or 7 when I ended up getting a PlayStation. I guess it was 97. It was not the first survival horror game. There were other games before it, like Alone in the Dark was a very good example of a survival horror game before Resident Evil came about. But Alone in the Dark had like goblins and demons and all that kind of stuff. Resident Evil tried to perform some sort of like scientific way of putting it, and it's sort of like way of looking at it. It came about because of a corrupt organization, a company that wanted to go and produce biological weapons in order to become rich and powerful and all that. And the whole thing blew up in their face. Some accident occurred in the lab. The T-virus, the Tyrant virus, got out and killed just about everybody in the lab and in the mansion above it within a couple of days. And over the following month and a half, or 2 months or so, it slowly killed the rest of the researchers. So they tried to continue their research for a while, but eventually everything broke down. Albert Wesker, one of the Umbrella scientists, he was one of the scientists who was also a member of the STARS. He was probably working as an agent of Umbrella, kind of subverting the police, preventing them from ever really figuring out what Umbrella was up to, because everything they're doing is way, way illegal. Bioweapons? No, damn. But after shit hit the fan, this White Umbrella, or whatever that name was, ordered Wesker to go and use the STARS members, send them in there to test them against use them as test subjects against the bioorganic weapons, the hunters, the zombies, the Cerberus dogs, all that kind of stuff. Plant 42. So they had Wesker send STARS in to test the bioweapons. What Umbrella was unaware of was that Wesker had his own ambitions. He went and decided to steal the research for himself. And that's what he wanted. He wanted the Tyrant, the big monster that blew up at the end. That's what he wanted. He probably also wanted the virus himself, but the Tyrant was what he most overtly was after. Well, all that went to shit, and the building exploded, and the trace of the virus were wiped out. Now, that doesn't mean that the virus is gone. And since there were several Resident Evil games after this, you have to figure it wasn't. Hey, you gotta imagine these guys leaving the mansion, we're gonna go and tell the world what Umbrella's doing. Okay, let's see how I did. 4 hours, 31 minutes, not really that good. Number of saves, 0, because I was save stating. So, not my best playthrough. Not a really terrible one either. I did close the case completely. Excellent. And this will be the end of the game and the end of this LP series. I thank you for watching, if you did watch. And, oh, there was a special key I was talking about several episodes ago where you get into that room back there and can change costumes. Once again, I thank you for watching, and feel free to check out some of my other LPs if you enjoyed this one. Well, thank you, and goodbye.